I'm going live. It's setting up YouTube, setting up your YouTube. Done. Redirecting to YouTube. Hello, boss. Hello. Hello. So,
Hello?
hello, boss. I can hear you.
I want to know if live stream will hear me. Okay, great.
Okay, the live stream is hearing you.
Yes.
Hello, boss. I can hear you. Yes, me too. I can hear you. I can hear. Okay, I can hear myself
I
now.
want to
So,
know if live stream will hear me. So you need to do the Control M now.
I've done the Control M. That's why. That's why we are not hearing echo.
Okay, did you join on your phone as well?
Yes, I joined live on my phone and I'm on
Is it your
Zoom.
phone that is giving that feedback?
Yes, you know it's lagging.
Okay, I just want to know that that problem we battled
And
yesterday is not happening.
so it's just lagging.
Okay, great. So I think we are good.
I've removed the volume now.
Okay, I think we are good.
We have 3 people now. Who is the third person?
I mean, I have a device.
Okay. You have 2 devices on live now.
No, I have one.
No problem.
I have one device. You have one.
But
And you didn't
I
share.
have 3 watching here.
You didn't share the link with anybody.
I've not shared with anybody. 3 viewers.
Maybe part of our meeting people yesterday.
At least I think we are. So now, let me do something now. Let me invite PC Titi Lion.
Yeah.
I want to do something. I want. Okay. Now you are now. Let me pin PC Titi Lion. Maybe. So what happened is that I'm looking at you now, boss, on live. So,
I can see that.
See, maintain your video. I want to see how we can now. I want to so that we want to pin only the moderator or the person that is speaking.
Okay, so it's the speaker view.
Sorry, I'm trying to put on my video. It's saying you cannot start the video because it is disabled by the host.
Okay, let me make you start. Let me give you permission. Okay. Hey, so all of them, we that's the presenter. They are the only ones that we allowed them to start their video. Where is you? Make host allowed to record. No, make host.
Just
Okay,
make co-host.
Let me make you co-host.
Yes, okay. Just make her co-host so that she has a lot of rights.
Your video now.
Okay. I think it should work now.
Yes, we are seeing you.
Okay.
So try to be the one talking. Let's see what is happening on live stream.
Okay, myself, Abby.
Yes.
Okay, good morning, distinguished professional colleagues and panelists. Can you hear me?
Fine.
So try to be the one talking. Let's see what is happening on live.
There's a bit of time lag, Abby.
Yeah, there's a time lag. I'm seeing you now. You're live.
Okay.
Okay, we are good with that. So if all our presenters, we're going to make them hosts, right?
That's what you do. You make
so
all presenters co-hosts so that they have a lot of rights, right? But we need to check.
I don't know. Is this Khadija? Okay, let me admit PC Patrick.
They just volume went off.
Can you hear me now?
I think he muted himself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hi.
So I said that we need to now check. I think we are good. We need to now check all the other settings. Q&A, we are fine. That people cannot join without people cannot chat. You need to check that PC Dipupo.
I've locked it.
Okay.
I believe nobody can chat.
Then once we start, don't forget that we need to record. Once we
Yes.
start,
Yes.
I can confirm that we are live right now. I can confirm that from YouTube. So it is that link that we will now share, once we have gotten to that.
So, how many are we in this?
Please.
Hello?
Is it on our platform or social platform or where? Thank you.
Jessica, welcome. Talk to us now. I'm being conscious.
I'm with you now.
Very good.
It's so hard, we know we live.
Otito, stop talking. Bye-bye. We are not live yet. So who else? Who should we start admitting district members or no?
Committee members.
I don't even know.
Committee members is 9:30. Any committee member in the waiting room that we can identify. So all committee members should join now, please.
Are we playing national anthem?
Please, how do I get to see the waiting room?
Make Khadija co-host.
Are we playing national anthem, please?
Yes, maybe first standard and then ICAN item.
Khadija's co-host.
Good morning, everybody.
My chairman. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I can see that the chairman of the committee is fully set, and the moderator is also ever present. Thank you all.
Yes, so.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
So, I want to test the national anthem. So please let me go there.
I can't see any of the other committee member on the waiting list.
Okay. Maybe some committee members will finally watch on YouTube. Or they will watch on YouTube now. Because people are set. You have 30 people waiting to join this meeting. People are not joking. We said 10 o'clock. People are ready to. We even met them here. Even Toby Abiola has started with that. I sent the link. I said, wow, today.
So I am sharing my screen for the national anthem. We are still testing live, please.
Yes, I can see everything we are doing on live.
Okay. So, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
So I'll be playing.
Nigeria flag.
I'll be playing the national anthem now.
Let's see.
Let's confirm that there's sound on the. What are you saying, though?
National, we can see your charts. My name, Yemi's name, Esther's name, everybody's name.
Oh, okay.
Nigeria, okay, there is sound. There is sound, though.
Okay.
So instead of going to the chat to pick it, can you create a folder? Because everything you are doing is
so
showing
this particular issue I've been in fact, that's why I always request for it. I've not been able to download and create folder for it. I don't know if you can.
Let me tell you what you do. Let me tell you what to do. As you download it, just download it.
Mombasa.
You
Are
see
you seeing
that
my
download
screen?
button? Yes, download it. Click that download.
Bobo. Open file.
Have you downloaded? No, don't open. Don't open. Have you downloaded it like that? Close it.
It's
You have
downloaded,
that?
please.
Okay, great. Oh yeah, do Windows E. Do Windows E. Window button E.
E.
Yes.
Okay.
It will bring a pop-up.
Yes, I'm seeing WhatsApp video
Oh
download.
yeah, and inside download. Windows E download. Click download on your left. And now copy that file. Copy the file.
Where is the file that I'll copy? This one?
Windows E, you are seeing a pop-up. Abi, there's a pane. You
Where is
see
the pane?
desktop. I said you should do Windows E now. Press Windows button on your keyboard and letter E at the same time.
Yes, I've seen. Yes, I've seen the pane. Yes.
Oh yeah, click download on your left after desktop.
Okay, under the quick access, download store locally. Okay.
You see that download? You see download, Abi?
Yes.
Oh yeah, look at that file there. Look at the file there. It's a recent file. It will be up. Oh yeah, select it there, copy it, and go and paste it inside any folder that you want to be using it from.
So, boss, wait. This one that's with Nigerian flag, the part download. I should copy it.
I can't see what you are doing again. Can you share your screen? Let me see what you are doing.
I'm still sharing screen now.
No, you are sharing the WhatsApp part alone. The song.
Okay. Let me stop share. Go back to start share.
Yeah.
Share. Let me share. Okay, can you see that?
So yeah, go to that. See under your under home by your left hand side. These things on your left hand side. Go to download. Go to download there after desktop. Oh yeah, pick it there. See it there today. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, right click.
I should copy it.
Copy it. Oh yeah, go and paste it in the folder. In fact, just create a folder for it on your desktop and say ICAN national this thing and ICAN song. Whatever you use to remember the folder that it's saved.
Great folder. Number.
Let's try to just do it as soon as possible so that maybe by 9:55 we can start adding people.
Yes,
We'll add people at 10. No, only resource persons will be added at 9:55. Have you gotten across to all the resource persons?
Yeah, they said they are ready. They are ready.
Great.
I told them 9:55, so.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Save.
I want to copy the second one to Mumbo. Yeah.
You rename it to National Anthem, ICAN Anthem. So that when you want to share on live stream, it's only that thing that you go to that folder and play from there.
Mumbo, sir.
This live stream is really perfect too. It's working perfectly well.
Please, if I want to watch that live stream, how do I access it?
I will send you the link now.
Okay.
But don't share it yet.
No. I just.
But you cannot join. You cannot join with the same device. So
I will join on my laptop.
Okay. Are you ready?
1 minute, please. I want to rename it. Closing. How to rename it? Closing. Rename. Closing. Closing item. Why this one will be starting and 10. 46 people are in the waiting room. Yeah. Rename. Starting and 10. Okay. Okay.
So play from there. Let's see now.
All right, boss.
Titi, please remind people to rename their devices once they join me, so that with their name and membership number, so that at least we use that to track those that join against those that register.
Please confirm you can see my screen.
I can see it.
So I want to play from.
Yeah, play. Let's hear. Perfect. Can hear it.
All right, so let's go back to the waiting room. Okay.
But the icon, are you sure it's there?
Yes, it's there. The way it's structured is there. Once you play the national anthem,
can you play that one too?
Can we confirm?
Let's try it now, please. We have only 4 minutes left.
Hey, wait. Are you seeing my screen?
We are still
Yes.
seeing national anthem. National anthem.
So this is the icon part.
Truths and values that we share through all ages.
Did you hear the icon part?
Yes. So
Yes.
it means
Yes.
the entire thing is 1 minute 28 seconds.
Yes, the way they structure it. One for the ICAN has done it before. One folder, just one. We play the entire national anthem. Immediately, we will play the Kukilorukwe too.
Okay,
it will play.
Fine. That's fine. So go back to. Let me check their final settings.
So we are streaming live. All right. I'm going to waiting room now. Should we start admitting?
No, please, no. We are admitting the resource persons first at 9:55.
It's just one of the resource person that is here.
It's just what?
It's just one of them that is in the waiting room.
What's the name, please?
The remaining people.
So what's the name, please?
Mr. Oluseyi.
Hold on. We admit him 9:55. We are still doing
Oluseyi.
Yeah, I've informed.
So we admit all the resource person 9:55. Then at 10 a.m. that we promised, we admit everyone else. So every other side talk that we want to do must end before 9:55. Please, if there's any other thing anybody wants to check now, please help us check. Anything that we should pay attention to. We are live on YouTube right now. I can watch it. The link has not been shared even with committee members, but we are live. It's lagging, but there is no echo. We battled the echo issue yesterday up until 1 a.m. The chairman was with us, and I thank him for staying with us. Yes, so all committee members on waiting room that we can identify, let's take them in. Every
Please,
other
let's
member,
make the committee.
How many co-hosts are we having?
we can make all the committee members can be co-hosts so that we are not restricted. Members cannot unmute themselves based on the setting. They also cannot chat.
All committee members, please always remember to mute yourself.
Yes. And Dipo, immediately it's 10 o'clock, right? That we admit everyone else. You take away the waiting room setting.
Yes.
So that members can join freely and fill up that 300. Once we get to 250, we start circulating this YouTube link and say this is being streamed live. You can join via YouTube. Chat your details there.
The Zoom itself has that once it's filled up, anybody that tries to join it will redirect them to YouTube.
Fantastic.
Please, if I've not make you co-host, let me know.
No, Chairman, why do you want to make every committee member co-host? Why do you just about 5 of you, 5 or 6?
Well, it's just for network issue in case there is any right that anybody needs to give. I want to believe, committee members are responsible enough not to misuse it.
Some are in the office and they could be called before you know it, they do one thing or the other. I think maybe 5 or 6 of you, but if you think,
okay, I agree.
You're up to 10.
I agree with you. Maybe you stop it with the ones you have right now.
So please, the people that are hosts.
But please make Sylvia once she joins.
Sylvia is, I don't even know. She's there, is she not there?
I'm here.
She's there, I don't know.
Where are you?
She's using magic.
You are using
ICAN
under ICAN LEKKI.
We are 3 now, that is ICAN LEKKI at
yes.
Let me rename my own so that I will not be part of you.
Who else? God.
I'm trying to reach Madam Hundrum. I've not been able to.
I think there is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I've called her, I've done all. I don't know.
Okay, 4 minutes.
You have not made chairman co-host though.
Please make chairman co-host, please. 4 minutes to admit the resource persons. Dipo, 4 more minutes to admitting all resource persons. Please, Khadija, can you confirm that all resource persons are in the waiting room?
Just 2 of them for now.
Who and who?
It's very disappointing. That's a lawyer.
Who is this? Who is playing disappointing to us?
He's your
I'm trying.
Okay, he's physical.
As you refuse to make me co-host, that's why.
Khadijat, how many the people that have not joined, can we reach out to them by WhatsApp? The resource persons that are yet to join.
I've messaged them on WhatsApp. I'm even trying to call them now.
Thank you. I trust you. PCTT, are you ready to take it over?
I'm ready.
I trust you. I know you.
Once I play national anthem, everything is your own. You are the one that will tell me when to play the national anthem.
Please play it immediately after the opening prayer.
In
3 more minutes. 3 more minutes to bring in 2 more minutes to bring in resource persons. 2 more minutes to bring in resource persons. They have identified the name they are joining with, the names of their devices. Let's watch out for that. 7 more minutes.
Sorry, sir. I'll be leaving. I'll join back. I need to call them on normal call now.
Okay,
so I
thank
have
you.
I'm trying to call Accountant General of Abia State. She's not.
Please, I have Oluseyi Olariwaju. Who else? Let me see.
Who is the second person? Professor Bongo. We have 117 people in the waiting room. Today, not today.
This time, Professor Bongo is not there yet.
Our speakers are coming in now.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 6 speakers on the waiting room. I'm adding them in now.
Please add them.
Not there.
Add them.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome them. Good morning.
Good morning.
IPC.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Even though I can't put on my video like
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me? This is in June.
Yes, we can.
Good morning,
my
ma'am.
AG.
Hi. Hi. Yes, yes.
Good morning, Ma. Welcome.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. Yeah,
Thank
okay,
you.
so the video is disabled by the host for information.
Yes,
not that I need it, but for information.
I am making you co-host
we will
now.
grant you. We will grant you the right to be able to do that now.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr.
Bidemi is there.
Mr. Oluseyi is in. Mr. Bidemi Oni is in.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's nice to be here. Mr. Chairman, I salute you, sir.
Good morning, sir. God bless you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Mass Attack, good morning.
Our very own Mass
AG.
Attack.
I salute you, man. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank
Super
you.
King. God bless you. Welcome.
I salute you too. Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank
Please,
you.
can we try our first speaker, please? Good morning. Can you try to
Good morning.
activate your video
Okay, speakers.
so that we know that you are or confirm if we
Mr.
made you
Deepak,
co-host.
please make Mr. Oni co-host as well.
I've made him. So that's why I'm asking him to.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says you stopped my video, so it's not coming up.
He's not yet a co-host. Please make him co-host.
He's not, yes.
Please not yet a co-host, please.
Mr. Bidemi.
Mr. Bidemi.
Okay. Done.
Okay, I think we have only Professor Bongo left. Powerful moderator and powerful speakers. Thank you for joining early. Yes, so once it is 10 exactly, we'll bring in everyone else and then we will go live. We are already live on YouTube, but it's not accessible to anyone yet, so that we have unlimited access, from there. So let's just give it 3 more minutes and then we take it from there.
Please.
Thank you.
Our host, please, can you test your video, please?
I tested mine already before now. You can see me, right?
Yes, I can see you.
Yes, Dr. Jim, we can see you. Thank you.
Okay. So do you want us to put it on through the program or when we are speaking?
I think while you are speaking will be the best if you can't afford to keep it on throughout the program. But at least while you are speaking, so that it can be very engaging.
No, I know. I'm just asking, do you want it on all through the program or we switch it off when we're not speaking?
If you can make it be on all through the program, we don't mind.
That's fine. All right, that's fine.
Yes.
Give it.
We
Thank
now
you.
have Professor Bongo Hadi with us now.
Fantastic.
So all our speakers.
I was not with you, Professor Bongo. That's why I'm clarifying.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Professor Bongo, good morning. Thank you. Please make Professor Bongo co-host so that he can also test his video. And then we are 1 minute to going live. We promised 10, and this is Lekki and districts. Is the district of excellence. We do not want to lag behind for any reason. Once again, we appreciate all of our speakers for joining on time and choosing to spend a part of their morning to impact us and impact the accounting community and indeed the citizens at large. Let me inform you that we have almost 250 people, 215 currently in the waiting room. They will all be accepted once this meeting goes live, and we are also live on YouTube where we have unlimited access. Our moderator, it's 10 a.m. Please take it away from here. Hosts, please accept everyone, admit all, and then we play the national anthem, and moderator will take it away. Thank you so much, everyone.
Before you go, sir, can you confirm that on the YouTube that we have all of them? Because I've pinned all of them and maybe it's showing.
We have everyone. Once you start speaking, I don't think once you are the one on, I mean, we have it on speaker view. So once any one of them speaks, their faces will show on YouTube. So we are fine.
I want to stop sharing my screen for now.
Please, go ahead.
Okay, now we are admitting everybody and disabling the waiting room.
Thank you. Please go ahead. Mr. Titi, over to you.
Is everyone in now?
Please record the session.
Okay.
AGS.
Time to go. Yep.
Okay. Just a few minutes for everyone to get in. All right.
The room is filling up.
Just say. Okay. All right, you're welcome. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar organized by the LEKKI and District Society of the Institute of Chartered Accountants. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our professional colleagues, our speakers, and guests from other professions. You're welcome. So we'll take the opening prayer now, and I would let PC Khadijat please take the opening prayer. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. We are starting this activity in the name of Almighty Allah. We pray to, please confirm you can hear me.
We can, please.
Yes, loud and clear.
We are starting today's activity in the name of God, the Almighty. And I pray today's webinar is going to be a successful one, an impactful one. Thank you so much and welcome once again.
Thank you. We'll now take the national anthem and ICAN anthem. Thank you.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Let's go drive and fount of treasure in triumph of banner raised, standing stronger in harmony, building our land together. Dreams of our founding fathers, we are striving to attain. Our roots and values that we share, through all ages be sustained. Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, noble ICAN, your accuracy we cherish. We uphold your integrity.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. And we'll take the welcome and opening remarks from the chairman and the host of today's event, PC Patrick Akamioko, FCA. I hope I pronounced that well.
Yes,
all right, over to you, sir.
Thank you, dear moderator. A very good morning to everyone present in this webinar. I'm so excited to welcome all of you to this second free webinar from ICAN LEKKI Society, the District of Excellence. You can only find only one of these in the whole world. The topic under discussion is in this webinar is Nigeria economy stabilizing, a critical analysis of the macroeconomic indicators. You all agree with me that a lot has happened in the last 2 years, 2.5 years in Nigeria economic space. We have seen very high interest rates, high inflation rates, shortage of FX, the Naira going to the south so fast, depreciating. So many things, multinational corporations leaving Nigeria, believing that the country was going to close down. Direct foreign investment drying up, foreign portfolio investment drying up too. So many negative things happened in the last 2 years. But however, in the last 6 months or thereabout, there appears to be some positive developments, especially in terms of revenue and so many other places. And we just feel that, look, the time has come for us to talk about this. It appears things are looking good, but appearance at times could be a mirage. And the best way to know that you're on the right path is to discuss, to talk. And that is the main reason why we have assembled seasoned professionals to speak to us today so that we know where exactly we are going to, where exactly we are heading, and whether we are on the right direction and what to do next. As professionals, we need to know where we are going to so that we can plan. Everybody thought Nigeria was going down, but from what we are hearing and what we are seeing, what we are reading, it appears that there is light at the end of the tunnel. But we need to talk about it, and that is why we are all here today. So permit me to welcome on board our great men, great speakers, a lady of honor, great panelists, Dr. Oluseyi Larewaju FCA ICAN Council member, Dr. Unju Umar Onyemena, ICAN Council member 2, Professor Bongo Adi, great professor, and Mr. Abidemi Oni, a fellow of the Institute, FCA. My fellow professional colleagues and distinguished participants, you are all welcome to this webinar. We know that, or we believe that by the end of today, we will all be at home with where we are in this country and know exactly where we are going to economically. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Thank you, moderator, and I believe that going forward, we know what to do and how to do it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For all participants, kindly ensure that you rename your device that you're joining the webinar with your name and ICAN membership number. Thank you very much. Good morning once again, distinguished panelists and professional colleagues. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to today's webinar held by the LEKKI and District Society of ICAN. The theme for discussion is the Nigerian economy stabilizing? A critical analysis of microeconomic indicators. Over the past few years, Nigeria has navigated complex, economic terrain marked by currency reforms, inflationary measures, fluctuating oil revenues, and obviously, monetary policies tightening as well, and several ongoing, restructuring, adjustments to ensure that our economy is going in the right direction. But obviously, the questions in the minds of people today is whether all these interventions are beginning to yield any tangible stabilization, or if we are still in the face of economic uncertainty. And I'm so sure and certain that there is no better time to have this conversation than now. And we have our seasoned panelists that would run us through the subject matter of today. And our goal is basically to know whether, beyond the headline and even beyond the topic we are discussing, to understand the underlying signals, policy impact, and forward-looking insights that, has helped or is helping shape the Nigerian economic direction. And my hope and belief is that by the end of this session, we hope to emerge with a clearer understanding of whether Nigeria's economy is actually on the path towards stability and what we need to do in our individual spaces to ensure that we're able to sustain it. And I would just read out a brief profile of our 4 panel members. And permit me if I probably omit certain things that are critical, but we're also working with time. So my first panelist that I would introduce today is Mr. Seyi Olariwaju, and he's the chairman of Risk-Free Standard Associates. He's also a member of the Governing Council of ICAN. He's a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, ACCA, CIMA UK, Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, and also a Chartered Institute and also Chartered Institute of Directors of Nigeria. And is also a member of the Society for Corporate Governance of Nigeria and Association for Forensic Accounting Researchers. Men, these qualifications are job-breaking. He is currently serving in different committees and is a regular paper presenter at seminars, webinars, and conferences of these various professional bodies. He is a seasoned finance and IFRS expert and respected analyst on corporate governance and corporate sustainability financial reporting matters. He's got over 20 years practical experience spanning virtually all sectors of business endeavor. He sits on the board of many companies as non-executive directors and independent non-executive director as well. He is the chairman of Corporate Reporting Award Committee of ICAN and the deputy chairman of Corporate Reporting Board of ICAN. He has authored 2 books on corporate reporting. He is a 4-time recipient of the CFO Year Award in Nigeria's telecommunication industry between 2016 and 2019. Also a recipient of Africa Influencer Award 2020, a notable ICAN person 2020, Award of Service Humanity 2021 by Rotary Club, and is also recognized as top 50 CFOs in Nigeria 2024 and recognized as one of the 100 leading personalities in the telecommunications and digital economy sectors in Nigeria 2024. He's a professor of accounting and finance at the James Ope University, faculty member at Babcock University Business School and Rome Business School, former chairman CIMA UK Branch Committee Nigeria, and a member of the Association of CIMA UK African Regional Engagement Group, serving as patron, mentor, and advisor to many associations and groups. Well, we welcome Mr. Sheyi Olanrewaju, FCA, to this webinar. On next is Deaconess Dr. Ujum Onyemena, FCA. Dr. Ujum is a powerhouse in finance and governance. She is the meticulous mind behind Abia State Treasury, where every naira counts and no voucher escapes scrutiny, right? That is one good one for a government parastatal. As Accountant General, she navigates e-mandates and state policies with precision, chairs ICAN committees with integrity, and keeps a firm grip on fiscal accountability. Sorry, 1 minute, please. Whether advising the governor on dissecting wage structures, she's got the numbers and the narrative locked down. Dr. Ujum, FCA, is a distinguished finance executive and transformational leader with 25 years of experience reshaping financial frameworks across sectors. She currently serves as the Accountant General of Abia State. She previously served as Chief Financial Officer for leading Nigerian insurance firms like S General Insurance, NSI Insurance, Zenith General Insurance, Zenith Life Insurance, enhancing financial stability. Dr. Ujum significantly contributed to Nigeria's financial reporting evolution. She was pivotal in promoting the Nigerian insurance industry's financial reporting initiatives as the chairman of the Nigerian Insurance Association, Accounting Technical Committee for Nigerian Insurance Industry Chief CFOs from 2018 to 2024. Our efforts were crucial during the insurance industry's transition from NGAAP to IFRS and the subsequent shift from IFRS 14 to IFRS 17, and now the public sector's implementation of IPSAS in Nigeria. Our board memberships include a service in ICAN's Governing Council, chairing the Young Accountants Development Committee and the Entrepreneur Development Committee, the Abia State Government Council, Executive Council, Federal Accounts Allocation Committee, and a member of the FAC Subcommittee on the implementation of IPSAS in Nigeria. The Abia State Economic Management Team, the Universal Whitehall College, the More Money Microfinance Bank, and also one of the government council in Abia State, while having served previously in various boards, underscores our broad influence and commitment to excellence. You're welcome, Dr. Ujum. On next is Mr. Abidemi Oni. Mr. Abidemi Oni is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. He holds a bachelor's degree in accounting from Obafemi Awolowo University. He's an experienced professional with over 20 years work experience in the financial industry. Mr. Oni's experience cuts across performance management, financial controls, operations, strategic, financial planning, taxation, contract negotiations, and procurement controls. He commenced his banking career in 1998 at the United Bank for Africa PLC in branch operations. He worked in other financial institutions, including NNB, the now Unity Bank that we know, and was involved in the integration of 9 other banks' books to form Unity Bank. Mr. Oni joined the management of Intercontinental Capital Markets in 2006 as the Chief Financial Officer. He was later selected by Access Bank as an integration team member for the merger between Access Bank and Intercontinental Bank PLC. He worked briefly as the Group Financial Controller of Investment One Financial Services between 2013 and 2014. Mr. Oni is currently the CFO at Chapel Hill Durham. In 2015, he was selected as the CFO of the Year by his peers in the investment banking sector. He won this enviable award again in 2016. Over the course of his career, he has attended several courses, both locally and internationally. He is a non-executive director of Trust Fund Pension and also chairman of Tender Lands. You're welcome, Mr. Oni. And last but not the least is Professor Bongo Adi. Professor Bongo is a distinguished professor of economics and data analytics at Lagos Business School, Pan Atlantic University, Nigeria, representing the classic scholar practitioner who seamlessly bridges rigorous academic inquiry with transformative policy and strategy implementation. His multifaceted expertise as a development and maritime economist, corporate strategist, data scientist, and PPP and project finance expert has been cultivated over 2 decades of distinguished experience spanning research, consulting, policy, advisory, and institutional leadership. His academic credentials include PhD in regional science and development economics and an MSc in economic development and policy management, both earned under the prestigious Joint Japan World Bank Graduate Scholarship at the University of Tsukuba, Japan, complemented by postdoctoral training in data mining. His scholarly excellence has been recognized through numerous prestigious awards, including the UNU Fellowships, World Bank Scholarship, Japanese Scholarship for international students, and Japan Society for the Promotion of Science Postdoctoral Fellowship, which is research published in top-ranked international journals. He is a 2025-2026 U.S. Fulbright Scholar. Professor Adi's professional impact is exemplified through his leadership of sophisticated economic development initiatives, including his directorship of the Lagos Mega City Competitiveness Project at Lagos Business School, where he orchestrated comprehensive sector and industry competitiveness studies that have significantly influenced regional development strategies. His distinguished clients portfolio encompasses prominent public sector organizations alongside diverse blue chip corporations and SMEs. As the founding Director General of Edo State Directorate of Higher Education, he's demonstrated exceptional leadership in educational policy and institutional development. His pioneering work in establishing PPP and project finance training programs at LBS has created an enduring legacy in capacity building for sustainable development financing across Nigeria and beyond. His commitment to public engagement and policy discourse is demonstrated through his regular appearances as an economist and business analyst on prominent media platforms. At the same time, his distinguished bongonomics his job-breaking column in Business Day newspaper has established him as Nigeria's leading policy economist with a significant international media presence. So, dear participants, you see that we have, panelists that are packed and are knowledgeable to actually discuss this subject matter. So next, I would go to Mr. Sheyi Olarewaju to just, give us, his thoughts around the subject matter, over the next 13 minutes. Over to you, sir, Mr. Olariwaju.
Thank you very much, the moderator. I equally want to salute the leadership of LEKKI and District Society, ably led by Mr. Patrick and every other ESCO of these powerful districts, I call them. I will start by saying that the topic this morning is very topical, is very current. I can even say that it's top of mind for every Nigerian. We wake up, looking and saying, which way Nigeria, what is happening? Is Nigeria growing? Is Nigerian economy stabilizing? People keep asking, especially when you look at our various macroeconomic indices, which in recent time have been showing green. For instance, inflation rates dropped from over 30% to like in the range of 20%. We have also seen the GDP growing, in recent time. And a lot of these indices are showing green, actually. But the question the common man on the road, on the street are asking is that, what is going on? This is yet to reflect in our day-to-day life. Where are we going? What is happening? And all that. And I would say they are right with their conclusion. They are right with their anxiety. They are right by questioning these microeconomic indices that is changing by the day. I will say two things about these macroeconomic indices that is looking positive by the day, and also drop some other points as we go. I will say first of all that in Nigeria, I don't think we have the best depository of data to make certain decisions. We are all aware that even if I narrow down to the banking sector, that the banking sector has not fully captured, enough people into the system. And as such, if your data is not complete, if your data is not robust enough, whatever decision you make out of that data is likely to be skewed. So I'm saying some of these indices we are saying, some of them are skewed because of the inadequacy of the data we use in shunning out some of these metrics. The other points I also would like to mention about the metrics, is to say that the metrics, what has happened in recent time is that they've changed the basis of computing some of these microeconomic indicators. So that's why you see that it's bringing up a gap between the reality of common man on the streets and what these figures are talking about. So in closing the gap, I'm going to say that the government has a lot of work to do. Number one, by improving on the depth of the data we use, work more aggressively to ensure that this data is robust. I appreciate what they are doing in terms of NI and, in terms of tax identification, number and the rest, just, in a way to be able to get more people into this data pool so that the outcome of this data when we use them to compute and to estimate what our economic metrics and indicators are, it will be more reflective, and not only more reflective of what is happening generally to a common man. Common man can feel it. So for instance, when we say inflation rate has dropped, dramatically from over 30% that we have seen, last year and, towards the end of last year and all, they can see it when they go to the market. Because as we speak, when we go to the market, this is not the reality. And when I think backward, I see that the problem is actually with the data we're using in shunning out some of these economic metrics. So there's a lot the government needs to do in terms of this critical point. But be that as it may, I can say with this data, and with the bias of the inadequacy of the data that have been used to shun out some of these KPIs and metrics, that from where we stand as business leaders, we can say that there is light at the end of the tunnel. We can say that the economy somewhat is stabilizing. Are you with me? It's just that we need this to be reflected on the life of businesses and, every citizen of this country. And I believe by so doing, we will be more stable, we will drive more, investors into the economy, and the life of common man on the streets, can be better, and we can all sing the song of prosperity as we sojourn in our great country called Nigeria. I must also say that the government have taken some very critical decisions in terms of reforms. Some of these reforms are very good. It's just that we cannot continue. I mean, we've lost appetite for patients, because what we keep hearing is that we should give them patience so that some of these reforms, can become a reality and common man can, feel them, live them, and generally speaking. So I would say that those reforms are good, but some of the things I have also noticed personally is that maybe they could have been spaced, removal of subsidy, floating of dollar and naira and all that, maybe could have been spaced. But be that as it may, we're already in it. So we just want to see what they translate to now on the economy, on the businesses that we have in the country, the impact of foreign direct investment into the country, and how the common man feel this impact also. So that's, I'm going to submit by saying a lot still needs to be done in making sure that this positiveness we are seeing on the various metrics, we want to see it being a reality on businesses, especially the SME and the MSMEs, and also, of course, the citizenry of Nigeria. I will stop at that while, I allow my other panelists to take it on. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Olarewaju. So since all the government policies and the adjustments are coming in all at once, what I hear you say is that since we've gotten the hits all at once, then we need to now begin to see that the economy is turning around. So over to Professor Bongo to give us his perspective as a business analyst, as an economist, what he thinks about the subject matter of today. Professor Bongo, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. And thank you also for having me here. Good morning, friends and colleagues, wherever you're joining from. So I'm glad to be here with you. And thank you, Mr. Sheyi, for your insights. I think those were quite ad rem to the point. Yeah. So I am quite optimistic. I'm buoyed up to assert that the economy has turned the corners, and I think the worst days are behind us, and we are happy to say that. And definitely, the government hasn't done everything that everybody expected, but have they done something that, well, I mean, could it have been worse if they haven't done what they have done? The answer is unequivocal. Unequivocal. Yes, it could have been worse if they haven't taken the direction they took at the beginning. So, of course, we are forewarned before it started that we're not going to have it rosy, and that is exactly what has happened. But the good news is that we are out of the woods. So we are now looking forward to the growth that we're beginning to see, cascade down, trickle down to the grassroots. And that's usually what normally happens when an economy has been in a low equilibrium for a long time. So when it starts, it doesn't really, connect every sphere at the same time. So obviously you will see some sectors beginning to emerge from that low equilibrium. So it is not cross-sectoral, and that is exactly what is happening now. So we've seen that we've started to see growth in some sectors, right? Especially, with the turnaround in the volume of oil production and stability in oil price. So that sector has started to rebound. Then we've seen the resilience of the financial services industry as well. So, and telecommunication turned the corners also. Now, but the thing is that whereas we've seen these sectors drive the growth that we've seen, these sectors are not employment heavy. I mean, their elasticity when it comes to job elasticity, that is their propensity to create jobs or employ many citizens, they are quite low. And that is why it appears that the growth is not being felt at the grassroots. Okay, so some people will say that we have a macro stable growth, but micro fragile. Yeah, so I agree with that. So in terms of the macroeconomic indicators, I think we are quite solid as it is right now, such that the next 1 or 2 years, we are kind of guaranteed sustained economic growth. And we've never seen it in the past. I mean, the level of growth the economy registered, especially in the second quarter of this year, we've not seen it in the past, over the past 4 years. So that is something to really celebrate. And then we now need to begin to look at how we can consolidate on this growth and begin to ensure that the growth, trickles down to the other spheres of the economy. But then there is something else that I would like to point to, which again, is one of the things that boosts my confidence that we're going to have a long-lasting growth, and that we will not be so much susceptible to global economic headwinds. One of them is the coming on stream or the advent of the Dangote refinery. Now, a lot of people tend to, I mean, in the media, there is always a tendency to, underhype what has really happened. Now, this is not me, being too celebratory of an individual achievement. I don't think when it comes to that refinery, it's an individual thing. Because if we understand the structure of global economic production today, you will understand why that singular act is quite transformative of our economic future. Now, the economies that are really doing well today are those who are integrated into the global value chain. What do I mean by global value chain? Now, for any product that you point to, whether it is the phones that you're using or the computers that I know that all of us are using for this virtual meeting, You will know that some countries almost dominate, exclusively the various production chain, every aspect of it. Now, the countries that are doing well today are those countries that are really very active in a number of value chains. So if any country is not active in a value chain, it means that they are kind of, restricted to being hewers and drawers of wood. I mean, they can consume, but so long as they don't add to value, they also do not return value. And that also determines their standard of living. Now, what Dangote has done is that it has reintroduced Nigeria into another global value chain in the sense that we can produce and then export to other countries, So that is value creation. Now, there are only two value chains that I think Nigeria is quite active, significantly active in the world. The first one is the natural gas, liquefied natural gas, LNG. I think Nigeria controls significant, I think almost 5% of global output or more than that of LNG. That's significant. And then that contributes so much to Nigeria's external earnings. Now with Dangote, his export of refined petroleum products and others, is helping to boost our export profile. And that is what is very, very important in the world in which we live today. Because if you consider other, sectors or other activities, there are not many that actually have that export visibility or export potential. Oh no, we have export potential, but we've not quite converted them, and that is what is hurting, our fiscal position. So with that, I think we are out of the woods. I don't know if anyone listened to Dangote even speaking that by himself. It's not because he said it. So we have to look at the fiscal implication of that, especially the fact that we are not so much no longer reliant on the importation of refined products, which was really a very heavy burden on Nigeria's fiscal situation, and we're running deficits in order to finance the importation of those products. With that gone, that is why we've seen the pressure reduced on the foreign exchange market. Yes, in the past we were suffering from deficit in that area, but today we've seen that the naira has continued to experience some sort of strengthening. So with that, the pressure on our exchange rate has significantly reduced, and that also plays into the inflation scenario. Right, we may see that infrastructure bottlenecks persist, and that is one of the things. And then, of course, natural disasters like flooding and insecurity in some aspects, which has really, increased food inflation. But then when we look at the general inflation profile, we can see that the reduced pressure on exchange rate is really acting positively on the inflation level, because it's beginning to dampen it. So we continue to see reduction in inflation. Yes, so that will not trickle down to everybody in the economy right now. But we are quite optimistic that if we continue along that trajectory, the headwinds, being far from us, we have every reason to believe that, by the end of the fourth quarter of 2026, we will begin to see this beginning to trickle down to the rest of the citizens, such that people will begin to smile again. So I would prefer to really, harp on the positive dimensions, the positive things that are happening in the economy right now, rather than sounding off on the negative, because I feel that over time we will surmount those obstacles. So I'm quite optimistic.
All right. Thank you very much, Prof. So for everyone, our worst days are behind, since we've taken the heat of all the policies now. Hopefully within the next, couple of months or year, we are able to, see a turnaround, and maybe as individuals in our individual spaces and in our homes, we begin to feel the positive impact of all these government policies that we're experiencing today. Thank you very much once again, Prof. So over to Dr. Ujum to, give us the perspective from, public, sector. All right, ma, over to you, ma.
All right, thank you, Titilayo, for holding forth well. And then I'll have to say a good morning to every distinguished lady and gentleman here. It is actually a pleasure to join you and to contribute to this important conversation. Professor Bongo, I'm quite elated to be here with you. I was your student in LBS, and it's very humbling to be here with you to shed the light on a topic that you are a professor on, having learned so much from you. So we're happy to have you this morning. Thank you for shedding that beautiful light. And then to my colleague who has already presented just before me, Dr. Sheyi Olariwaju, thank you. I'll take on from where I'll take on this discourse from your contributions so far. I've heard us talk about the reforms, and so I would like to speak to those reforms itself. What are these reforms that we are talking about? In case there's someone here who actually is not in the know or clear understanding of the various reforms that have happened in Nigeria in the recent, let me say, in the recent 2 years. There are key macroeconomic indicators that actually tell us whether in Nigeria there's growth, and is our Nigeria economy really stabilizing? So when we're talking about economic growth, stabilization, we're talking about, there is a growth, and this growth is actually a sustainable one, and it's impacting in every area. I would like to take us through key macroeconomic indicators that will actually tell us whether our economy is improving, and if it is improving, is it stabilizing at the same time? So what are these indicators that we should know? The indicators of growth, we have the growth indicator, the macroeconomic growth indicator. There's inflation is another indicator. Fiscal performance, it's a third indicator. And the foreign exchange is one of those things, those macroeconomic indicators that have actually come to light in the last 2 years. Are these reforms, are they really yielding the tangible results for our nation and for our people? If we look at the current economic snapshots of these 4 indicators that I've just highlighted to us, I'll talk about growth first of all. In growth, there's a World Bank report that says to us that in the fourth quarter of 2024, Nigeria recorded a 4.6% year-on-year growth. That's the strongest growth that we have recorded since post-COVID in the decade. And in the full year 2024, the World Bank report has it that Nigeria recorded a 3.4% growth in the average. Now we're in the first year of 2025, where there's an estimate that we had a growth of 3.7%, which is supported by improved oil production and stronger manufacturing and services. This is slightly higher than the 3.4% recorded in the entire 2024. So those are indicators that there is some growth somewhere. The Central Bank of Nigeria, ahead of time, projected growth at around 4.17% in 2025. The World Bank also noted that 2024 recorded one of Nigeria's best growth in nearly a decade. This is signaling to us there is a growing resilience for us generally in the country. Let us also evaluate the next key indicator, which is inflation. Inflation remains elevated, yes, but it also shows us a gradual moderation in the way it's increasing. It's not the same way we have known it in the past. For example, according to CBN, headline, inflation declined to about 22.22% in June 2025, just by this mid-year, and is declining from 22.97% in May 2025. The World Bank projects inflation to average around 22.1% in 2025, with continued tight monetary policy, which is expected to sustain the downward trend. However, food inflation remains a major concern for households. For you and me, it is a major concern. You go to the market and the prices of food that affects me and you every day keeps on the increase. So we also have the external foreign exchange and reserves. Again, the World Bank reports that reforms have improved the foreign exchange markets and the external position. Our balance of payments as a nation has strengthened. With improved oil receipts and a reduction in fuel imports, our bills, with a reduction in our fuel import bills following subsidy removal, Nigeria external reserves have shown relative stability, helping to support the naira and ease foreign exchange pressures. We're all part of this process. We are witnesses to the fact that this is happening. So it's not just a storyline for us, it's something we see every day. We also have the fiscal and revenue mobilization, the reality check in 2025. Fortunately, I'm a part of the committee where we discuss allocations of federation account allocations to the subnationals of Nigeria. Stabilization is not possible without fiscal discipline and revenue strength. 2025 has marked a landmark, is a landmark year for us as Nigerians in our revenue performance. We've had a record-breaking revenue collection in this year. Between January and August 2025, the federal government has mobilized 20.59 trillion, which represents a 40.5% increase over the 14.6 trillion collected in the same year, 2024. Year on year, we have grown from 20.59 trillion to 14.6 trillion. In Q1 2025 alone, total government revenue stood at 6.9 trillion, up to 32.7% from 5.2 trillion in Q1 2024. The tax revenue for the first half of 2025 also reached 14.27 trillion. That is a 43% increase from 9.98 trillion in 2024. Naturally, non-oil tax revenue grew by 44.2% to 10.64 trillion. This confirms Nigeria's steady shift from oil dependence. So if all non-oil tax revenue keeps increasing, it also tells us that surely our dependence on oil is also being diversified. Now, just by this mid-year of 2025, the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee shared 1.8 trillion compared to the 3 tiers of government. Hopefully, we know what the 3 tiers of government are. To the federation, to the federal government, to the states, and to the local governments, out of a total of 4.2 trillion. Earlier in January 2025, the federal government, federation also had shared 1.7 trillion from a 2.6 trillion collected. When you look at all these trends, they mark the strongest fiscal performance in these 2 years. According to multiple reports from the Ministry of Finance and the FAC communiques that we have, I think I'll let all of us know here that it will be good to always follow the trends of our FAC communiques. After every month FAC, there is a communique you can try to follow through, and so you on your own can also know what is going on in your country. We have reforms that are driving the shift. You know that stabilization doesn't happen by chance. Several policy actions have been taken that underpin the improving indicators above that I've just highlighted. And some of the key policy actions that we have seen, and which I have also just talked about in my discussions, is the subsidy removal. With the subsidy removal, the country has experienced reduced fiscal leakages, and it has freed up funds for capital and social investments. All the leakages that had gone, we are now using it. The country is able to direct them to to developmental matters in the country. There's the FX unification. There's increased transparency and investor confidence, and there's reduced arbitrage. So once without stability in the FX, the world foreign direct investment is encouraged, and it gives us some confidence as a nation. All this amounts to tight monetary policy. The CBN 27.5 monetary policy rate reflects the ongoing fight against inflation and exchange rate volatility. Our revenue reforms have obviously also given us more revenues. We have broader tax base, we have digital compliance, math policy drives going on, and we have greater non-oil revenue contribution. We also have the reforms, the policy guides of fiscal prudence. There's reduced deficit financing from the CBN and more reliance on actual revenue inflows rather than borrowings. The Nigeria Revenue Service Act 2025 has redefined the structure of tax administration by improving efficiency, digital integration, and enforcement. Transparency in revenue management has improved with digital reporting systems, now linking ministries, departments, and agencies directly to the Treasury single accounts. The Federal Inland Revenue Service reported cumulative tax collections of 22.59 trillion in the first 9 months of 2025 and 47.39 trillion over the last 2 years. This is a historic achievement that the country has never known. So what are the implications? The fiscal picture shows real progress for us as a nation. Government revenue to GDP ratio is rising steadily, moving closer to double digits, a crucial indicator of fiscal health. The fiscal deficit has narrowed significantly thanks to increased tax receipts and subsidy revenue removal. These gains are giving the government more fiscal space to invest in infrastructure, human capital, and social programs. Remember, I'm opportuned to also be part of government today, and I'm opportuned to also sit at that position where I see the revenues coming in. I must say that I am a living witness to these things. They are not just theory, but the experience is there. Now, for we financial professionals, this means stronger public financial management system, more opportunities for accountability, and growing demand for credible financial reporting and audit experience. So, is this growth real? Is this stabilization real? You will ask, because somehow, if you have to go to the market and things are still on high cost, you get worried. What are they saying? So you will have positive signs, and we have the dilemmas that make it seem as if the growth is not real. So, but what are the positive signs? Growth is moving on, though modestly. A growth of 3.5 to 4% in 2025 would be a meaningful improvement from recent years. Inflation also, at this moderated rate, projects, and then a projected 22.15 or 1% in 2025, vis-a-vis higher levels previously, credibility is building up. We have strengthened external buffers, which are obvious, and improved fiscal position, giving the country more room to maneuver in crisis. The narrowing of fiscal deficits and improvements in revenue means the economy is less vulnerable to shocks. However, we have the important caveats which still remain for us. The growth rate, while improving, is still below potential for Nigeria. Many sectors, such as agriculture and employment-intensive parts of services, are lagging behind. For example, agriculture growth is still behind low long-term average. However, I must say, the country is working towards improving agriculture. Even in my state, I know that we are doing a lot to make sure that we have some improvement on the agricultural sector. And I know many other states are doing the same. Inflation remains very high by international standards. It doesn't take away that there's a moderation, but at least if you do a benchmark on the international standards, it is still very high. So eroding purchasing power and the household welfare. Food inflation in particular is a big concern. We have structural challenges which persist. Insecurity affecting agriculture and supply chains. Weak infrastructure, governance issues, and job creation are still major hurdles. But is the nation doing something about it? Yes. And the dividends will definitely show someday, sometime. I heard Dr. Shea say that we are tired of being patient, but we just have to be patient. Patience is a virtue, and that virtue will definitely yield the long-term results in time due. While external numbers are improving, Nigeria remains vulnerable to oil price shocks and global demand shifts, given its reliance on hydrocarbons. The stabilization is mainly in macro indicators, translating these into better livelihoods, more jobs. Lower poverty remains an unfinished agenda. Because if it doesn't impact on individuals, obviously, it's just like a mirage. The World Bank states the gains have yet to benefit all Nigerians. So, these critical indicators of GDP growth rate, inflation, monetary policy, the MPR policy of the CBN, the FX reserves, our fiscal deficit and revenue mobilization, sectoral performance and employee are all focus points for us as key indicators for the country. So for you and I as professionals, we also have our own jobs to do, because why are we here? Is it just to know what is going on in Nigeria? What are you supposed to do? What is supposed to be your own monitoring points? As professionals, we call ourselves chartered accountants. So these developments, what do they mean for us professionals? There's a risk and control environment that we have to be mindful of. As reforms deepen, the control environment becomes more complex. Internal auditors need to monitor emerging risk that come with such. What kind of risk comes with it? All these reforms. Such risk as foreign exchange losses, because if we're able to stabilize FX, there will be losses in some books. Subsidy transition risk, governance in state-owned enterprises. Our financial reporting has to be more, we have to keep improving and sustaining our transparency in financial reporting. With more reforms and external scrutiny, financial reporting standards and disclosures are becoming more important for us as ICAN members. Accountants must ensure compliance, transparency, and reliability of data that you are taking. You have to be sure that your data is comprising. We also should advise others. You are here, you're learning. You should advise other people in your teams, in your organization. Professionals can advise organizations, both in the public and the private sectors, on how to adapt to changing macroeconomic conditions, which I just mentioned before. We also have sectoral impacts that we have to be mindful of as professionals. In sectors you have experience, for instance, I have experience in insurance and I'm also building experience in the public sector. There are many of us, we have various kinds of experiences in various sectors. You and I are representations and representatives of the sectors where we are as professionals. For example, high inflation impacts insurance pricing, claim costs, interest rates, affects financing and mobility. Understanding the macros help drive better strategic decisions. You are that person in that organization, in that board, that should draw the attention of your board to major decision drives and helping them to go in the right direction. We also talk about ethics and governance in ICAN. Reforms eras bring heightened expectations for governance, accountability, and anti-corruption. As members of ICAN, you are frontline in ensuring that financial statements and control systems are robust, ethical, and aligned with best practice. I am forward-looking that Nigeria, yes, there's stability coming for us. With all this, things are looking better. It may not really impact on the individuals for now, but if we keep sustaining it, the Nigeria economy is actually stabilizing. The government is doing a lot, and we will surely continue to see the dividends until we get to that point where we can measure up internationally when we are benchmarked as well. So thank you that's my perspective on this for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Ojum. And I hear you say, the stabilization doesn't happen, by chance. And following from what Professor Bogo added, he said to say, okay, we expect to see light at the end of the tunnel, within the next couple of years. Hopefully that the advantage of the policies that government is putting in place, the subsidy removal, and diverting those funds into other capital and social investments, then in the next couple of years, it's not just organizations, the SMEs, but we individuals would also be able to realize the positive impact of the stabilization of the economy. Thank you very much, Ma. So I'll call on Mr. Bidemi Oni in 10 minutes to please just give us his perspective on the subject matter. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Professor Bongo, Dr. Larry Waju, and our commissioner. I'd like also to thank the chairman of our district for giving us this opportunity to speak to everyone. Thankfully enough, mine would be a very brief summary because what else again do you want me to say if our Professor Bongo has spoken, and we've also received so many views, especially from Dr. Larry Waju as well as the commissioner. I would just like to add some very few points, which also re-emphasizes that point that yes, definitely the economy that we have has actually shown some signs of stabilization. Which is clear by the recent policy reforms. That is aimed at some forms of fiscal balance. These have also, in no doubt, attracted in investment and thereby boosting our exchange. In terms of our FX liquidity. However, it's important that we need to highlight here that there are still some forms of structural challenges which will still pose a bit of significant risk. Well, we see without any doubt that progress is clearly clearly visible. We believe, and I believe personally, that a full stable environment will clearly depend on how these reforms can be sustained, especially in this. How it can be sustained, and especially when we see living standards improve. Speaking to some of these indicators, which we have earlier on reiterated, I'd like just briefly to speak on inflation, exchange rate, and I also like to dwell on the GDP. Clearly, without any doubt, we have seen the exchange rate. Heightened in terms of its volatility. Its volatility is 20 to 22. Which reflects the policy realignment. Bringing out external pressures and structural FX policy constraints. This, however, has also found a way of stabilizing, and you would see that. Right now, if you check the market capitalization, which probably is about 97 to 98 trillion. This is a confirmation that yes, we now have more injection into the economy based on the exchange rate, which most investors now have seen. Have now observed that it's now stabilizing. Because if an investor is not sure of what exchange rate is and on how to take his investment out of the country, especially in an environment where we don't have liquidity of FX, that would clearly affect injection of funds into the economy. But this is not the story that we have now. We now have, foreign investors. We have serious inflows. Into our economy, and no doubt we have also seen this impact into the reversal of the loss positions. Earlier on recorded by some companies. All the breweries of this world. Between 2023 and 2024, you would observe. That they were making some significant losses. But this has now. This is now getting reversed in one way or the other. Now they are not showing a bit of not even a bit, some forms of profitability in their financial performance. Another line that I'd like to talk about again too is inflation. Since 2022, inflation in Nigeria has probably trended upward and remained persistently high, probably about 34.78% year on year as of December 2024, and that's even before rebasing. But post this rebasing, we have seen this inflation moderate to about 18.01 year on year, even as at September 2025. That's from a 24.8% in January 2025 to this 18.02% as we speak. This positive indicators can never be denied. It's all clear to our eyes. Again, when we look at GDP, the GDP, it's driven by a more stable, exchange rate and a discretionary trajectory. Nigeria's, economy, which has a robust growth of about 4.23% year on year. That's up from about 3.48% in Q2 2024, and this has outperformed the 3.10 and 2.74% growth rate, as recorded in 2022 and 2023, respectively. If you also see the impact on the oil and gas, which has seen an impressive turnaround from what I would call a contraction of about 19.2% in 2022 to a year-on-year expansion of about 20.46% even in as at Q2 2025. We cannot but talk about the monetary policy of the CBN. Which you observe that this is in terms of response to persistently elevated inflation since 2022. The CBN has probably adopted a significantly tighter monetary stance. The MPR was lifted from about 11.5% in early 2022 to 18.75% by end of 2023, and further to 27.5% by early 2025. Just reflecting a strong commitment to curbing inflationary pressures and stabilizing the naira. No doubt you would observe that every single day we observe that the naira in itself gets stronger. This tightening cycle has been raised by the discontinuation of deficit monetization, renewed focus on price stability, and just trying to see corridor monetary transmission direction marks a clear return aimed at anchoring inflation and strengthening external resilience. The CBN, I think it was probably the first cut was probably in 2020, about 50 bips to a reduction of about 27%, citing signs of disinflation. And this disinflation would continue to be because we have now what Tao puts marked a sharp turn even in economy. And in summary of what I would say, in addition to what all the speakers have said proud to now, is that yes, the Nigerian economy has shown serious signs of stabilization, and that this is supported by the policy reforms by the government. However, we pray stayed. So thank you very much.
Okay. Mr. Oni's network is not has gone off. Mr. Oni, I don't know if you can hear me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think
All right.
we are
Thank you very
losing you.
much. Thank you very much, sir. So I think one key thing that that caught my attention while you were speaking is to say that we actually need a stable environment to ensure that the reforms that the government is actually pushing out can be sustained, and we begin to see the to see these things materialize in our different spaces. Without that, foreign investment, we might not see much of it. Without that, maybe things around GDP will just be figures to the common man. So hopefully I'm tagging along with the tagline that Professor Bongo had said, in the next couple of years, we see that all these policies begin to materialize and begins to trickle down so that industries that are, that would typically and employ people heavily begin to also see a turnaround so that we see that effect in our growth as an economy. So now would proceed to questions for the panel members. So for participants, kindly drop your question in the question and answer box, and we'll pick it up from there. So so my first question will go to Professor Bongo. So it's that global factors such as oil price fluctuations and rising global interest rates continue to affect Nigeria. What strategies do you think can help shield our economy from this from such an external shock? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, so I think that is a well-worn question that always comes up for anyone interested in Nigeria or any economy for that matter. So, is there any economy that is not susceptible to global events? I don't think so. So let's look at semiconductors, or let's consider, what do you call it, the rare earth metals, which are very crucial for the new, whether it is AI or the EV, electric vehicles, which is where everybody, we are pivoting to. So definitely they will be susceptible to the fluctuations of volatility in the price of metals and all those necessary ingredients that they use to produce. So having said that, no economy is immune to global headwinds. That's the first thing. Now, so the real question will now be, how do economies manage or navigate their way or hedge their, the risk of the global events or the global headwinds? One thing that everybody points out will be diversification. So we need to have a diversified export profile. So our product space need to be so encompassing to the point where, okay, if we experience some volatility or some headwind on the price of one commodity or one of the service ranges that we're exporting, then we can move to the other. So one we complement, the others, something like that. But having said that, I think the best way and the most assured strategy for our economy is to begin to look at, those, products or exports where we have clear, separable comparative advantage. Okay, so definitely that's going to take some work, and that is where I think we haven't quite done very well. The structure of our economy is beginning to change. Not just the structure of our economy, but the structure of global economy when it comes to global value chain that I kept talking about, has also changed. In the past, perhaps oil and gas, attracted the highest value in terms that, in the sense that, and it was, every economy demanded it such, in heavy volumes. But then we are now moving, transitioning away from the production function that is dominated by oil and gas. We are seeing more of high tech, especially in AI and other cognate products and activities used within those systems and sectors. So when you have such a kind of transition or change in the structure of production, then what countries do is to now begin to reassess their industrial policy and then begin to shape policies such that they will also be competitive in the new ways or the new wave that the economy is shifting to. We quite haven't done that. And until we do that, we continue to be susceptible to global events. Now, how do we restructure? Not that we're going to structure, because sometimes the structures are not what we determine. So they are really imposed on us from without. I mean, we were actually still battling with the technologies of the second industrial revolution. Now we are talking about the fourth industrial revolution, whereas we haven't quite mastered, optimized the second industrial revolution technologies. So what it means is that we have to quickly leapfrog. Okay, so leapfrogging means that we need to be more deliberate and then more intentional in changing, our industrial policies. Okay, so but one low-hanging fruit, I think that Nigeria, one approach I think we can pursue to mitigate the impact of the global headwinds would be, like I said, identify those sectors that have high export potential. One key sector, I will not stop talking about it, is the newfound opportunity that we have with refining Dangote, for instance. Yes, we can talk about diversification in agriculture. We can talk about diversification in manufacturing, but there is never a time that we can be as competitive as the Chinese when it comes to manufacturing. So the Chinese have quite optimized that area, and they have, become so dominant. So if you want cheap production, if you want to have the most efficient, production systems that play into your cost, you will definitely have to go to China. It doesn't matter where you are coming from. So you can use the Trumpian policies, to kind of twist investors, but it's just that's a kind of a short-term thing. It's not sustainable. Okay, so we cannot compete. No country actually can compete with the Chinese when it comes to industrial production. To give to put that in context, global production, if you add the production capacity of the United States, Germany, India, France, the United Kingdom, Russia, which other country? So if you put all of their industrial capacity, Japan, if you put all of them together, China is at least 10% more than them in terms of global industrial output. So that tells you that you can't compete with the Chinese. Now, what it means is that each country needs to assess where they have a comparative advantage. We are lucky, I think we are, that we have a company right now, we have a sector that is beginning to push the bounds when it comes to global production in refining. Now, is it possible to begin to design new industrial policies that can begin to create some sort of ancillary activities around what is going on with Dangote's capacity? Because that is exactly what so many countries have done. Whether it is Japan, when they were at their high period of growth, right? So you have few companies which they used to regard as the big, what do you call it now, Japanese machines, Toyotas of this world. And then, so they now have a sort of a cluster of industries around that's created a huge employment. Okay, and then gave them export presence. I think that is the kind of restructuring or redesigning that we need to undertake with our industrial policy so that we can take advantage, leverage what is really going on in these new emerging sectors. That is how we can shield ourselves from global headwind, but because we can't continue to operate as if we're in an economy of, say, 2000. Because the ship has actually left the coast. So we need to really migrate fast enough.
All right, thank you very much, Prof. Before I leave you, there's just one more question I would like to ask you. And in less than a minute, is just to say, beyond the headline GDP numbers, which sectors do you think are driving the recovery and which sectors are lagging?
Yeah, so when it comes to the leading and lagging sectors, today we have the top 10 expanding sectors. We have coal mining, we have quarrying and other minerals, water transportation, crude petroleum and natural gas, livestock. Okay, so those are, quarter-on-quarter changes. Those are the leading expanding sectors. Then the contracting sectors are electricity, metal ores, motor vehicles. Okay, so that is when you break it down. But on aggregate, we still have the financial services and then the oil and gas leading the recovery that we have currently. Okay, agriculture has not shown its true potential, just as the Commissioner and June mentioned earlier. It is still growing below its potential. And as a result, we are not able to see that lift that we want to see with a job creation. So as I mentioned earlier during when I first spoke, I said that the sectors that are growing, whether it is in the oil and gas sector or financial services, they are not employment heavy. Even if you add telecom, they are not employment heavy. Now, those ones that have high employment or job elasticity, they are not growing at the rate that we will have them, such that we will have significant reduction in the jobless rate. So we still have the traditional sectors that keep driving growth, employment, which means our economy is more of nominal. And then we also have services, okay? Services growing massively, but manufacturing, which is the core at industry, is not yet, showing its true potential. I think I can leave it at that. But if you really need me to delve more into it, I've got some slides that I can share where you can see that. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Prof. So my next question will go to Mr. Bidemi Oni, and there's a question on the platform from Ahmed Tijani. I think Mr. Bidemi will be appropriate to probably answer this question. And he says, how does the new tax reform affect individuals and its consequences to the development of our economy? Mr. Bidemi.
All right. Thank you. So the new tax reforms, we can view it from different perspectives. We are asking how it affects individuals and the economy. Number one, the new tax reforms as enumerated by the chairman and as we have understood it by, it's not really targeted at people that are already within the basket. It's actually aimed to bring more people into the basket of taxation. And so, for individuals, there will be lots of reliefs, especially for people that are currently paying tax within a particular bandwidth. We've been told, that if your salary is probably less than $1 million bucks, that you will be free from any form of tax. And if you ask yourself truly, who are the sectors really really pain in the issue of this tax? It's really people that we call those teachers that earn probably very minimal like salaries. What that means is that they now have lots of income and lots of monies at their disposable that will not be used for other investments. So it's not really like targeted at the middle income earners. These tax reforms is meant to actually tax those people that actually earn more. They will be taxed higher. However, there are some areas that we can all look into. Especially for those of us that are afraid of probably we'll take lower monthly earnings home. As there are still several areas within these reforms that we can always go through. Number one, and we can always in one way or the other increase our own personal contribution towards your pension. That in that way you are deferring what you should be taxed on. It's that part of earnings will not be taxable. Number two is it's also for you to also go for other products like life insurance and co, which we have not been doing before now. And so there are so many streams that you say, okay, life insurance, what will that, how will that have impact on us? The truth is that the depth of insurance in these countries is not that really that deep as compared to other economies of this world. You would observe that in addition to that, there are also some policies that are targeted towards insurance. Number one, which is that all homes, all homeowners must have their houses and co insured. And so in one way or the other, it's a way of deepening that sector. And clearly there are individuals too that work in those insurance sectors, which means that much more profitability for them, especially for lines that proud to now have been deemed not to be active. They will now see more of those transactions happening in that line. Since the question is just restricted to individuals, I believe that will be sufficient for now.
Thank you very much, sir. So my next question to you would be that the foreign exchange unification policy was designed to restore investor confidence. From your experience in the financial, market, has it brought stability or created more volatility for businesses and investors?
Okay. The foreign exchange policy was clearly designed to restore investor confidence. From my own experience within this financial the market, yes, it has really created a kind of stability. The FX unification policy was clearly necessary. Even though we would agree that yes, in the first few months or years, it was quite destructive. The naira fell sharply, declining roughly probably about 49%, maybe from May to December 2023, and the uncertain FX liquidity coupled with the fluctuating price discovery. Nevertheless, this the long-term logic of the reform remains very credible, and it has also led to improvement. Number one, even in the oil toy sector, bringing in inflows and stronger FX FX suppliers that brought a little bit of stabilization. Including a 5% year to date, or in terms of naira appreciation. In equities, as at date right now, we now have probably about 98 trillion in terms of market capitalization, and so you would agree with me that that has also brought in serious injections into the economy. Companies probably like companies in the consumer goods sector, probably like the Nigerian breweries, international breweries, Guinness, have also recovered from losses in 2023 and 2024. Now they have probably delivered more than 100% gains. For some investors, and you agree with me that when we say 100% gains, and that's not that's not any, any small measure. In short, if I would say that this reform, even though you would agree that in the short term, this the turbulence was there, but right now it now appears that it is delivering a more stable and it's beneficial. To our environment, particularly for business and for investors.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Oni. Before I leave you, just in a minute, if you consider the removal of the fuel subsidy and exchange rate unification, do you think this reforms has improved the fiscal discipline and created new vulnerabilities for businesses and wider economy?
With no doubt, the removal of fuel subsidies and FX unification have enhanced fiscal discipline by curtailing unsustainable spending. By everyone, including the government, individuals, and everyone involved in that sector. It has also, improved FX market transparency. It has found a way of supporting a reduction in fiscal deficit. Notably, our external buffers have clearly strengthened with strong FX reserves rising probably by about 26% since June 2023. However, I would say again that these gains, they have come with short-term economic strains, probably in terms of higher fuel cost, imported inflation, elevated operating expenses for businesses that are reliant on FX and energy input. While some households would definitely continue to face reduced purchasing power. Overall, it is my own opinion that these reforms, will establish a stronger foundation for long-term macroeconomic stability. But their durability, again, I would reiterate, will hinge on effective, sustainable policies that will help us to ensure that these gains are actually end in the long term.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, so over to Dr. Olariwaju. So beyond government actions, what role can the private sector and financial professionals play in strengthening Nigerians' external position and ensuring long-term economic resilience?
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. I think, in my mind, you have been doing a yeoman's job. Well done. To answer that question directly, I will tell you that private sector are very pivotal to any economic development. So I think in Nigeria, we've had sort of a mismatch or a mixed focus in terms of how we have been dealing, especially in the way we look at governments. Most of us look at governments as the single provider or enhancer of economy generally, But I think the role of private sector should not be undermined, because if you look at all the advanced countries of the world, you pick US, for instance, you will see that the growth, the advancements you see in those countries have been principally achieved through public-private participation. And I think we are waking up as a country in Nigeria, in trying to use this measure as well to drive the economic growth in Nigeria, and a lot of things have been done in terms of that. So I would say we need to encourage the private sector more, which is one of the things the new tax reform is also trying to do, to make it easy for individuals and private corporates, to be able to do business in Nigeria. With this, I believe we'll be able to strengthen our economy. We'll be able to, sustain this stability we are seeing economy-wise. A good example is what Dangote Group, is doing in terms of manufacturing generally, and the biggest one they've done, which is the refinery. I mean, imagine the investment into that refinery. If you think it's only government that should do all this, then we may be here for some decades to come. So it's the way to go. We should support them more. Government should support them more. That's why, for some of us, the initial rancor between NNPC and Dangote, we felt that it wasn't called for, that one of the biggest things that could happen to Nigeria is this refinery. And see the impact already. For once, we have not killed in how many months, which is what you see, as one of the things that happens to us. And again, I also think that is also helping with the easing of the FX fluctuation, because we now said to them in Naira, they now said to Nigeria in Naira, that's a lot of everybody being taken away. You will also notice that our external reserve is increasing by the day. This is because of the impact of this private sector. And I've used Dangote because it's a major one. The impact is not by any chance very small. And then so that we can economy. And I can tell you, it's one of the things that is helping these metrics to show green at the macro level. But for professional accountants or professionals, finance professionals generally, I would say we need to be more resilient. This is the time we need to show the skills and the toughness we have been made up of. And by our training anyway, this is the time we need to show creativity. This is the time we need to show, a resilience, by advising our various business on the right way to go in terms of, assisting them in embarking on sustainability projects for green financing. These are the time we need to bring creativity to the table, so way of getting cheaper funds, being strategic partner to the management and the board, looking at stuff from not only finance, but from the part of sustainability, which brings about enduring decision, providing data, for management to be able to make decision. Because in this day and time, people make less decision using guts. It's better that the decision you are making is driven by data, So I think we have a lot to do as professionals by helping this private sector and even governments, to drive sustainable growth in the economy, And like I said earlier, we need to now focus. PPP should ensure that we focus more on local goods so that we can improve as well our GDP on a constant basis. We need to grow our local markets. I had Prof talking about some sectors that are laid back. We need to focus on those laid back sectors, of which agriculture is there. And a lot of people have been saying it, that we are not yet enjoying the benefit of agriculture in Nigeria. So government should provide more incentive to farming production. And I believe by doing all this and coupled with the reform we are starting in January, we will build investors' confidence and we'll be able to drive FDI into this economy. So these are some of the things I think we can do as professionals. And for us to get the desired growth as an economy, as a country, we must focus on PPP. We must provide incentives for our SMEs and MSMEs to grow, because that is where growth is. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So I would go on to Dr. Ujum. So one question for you, Ma. Revenue collections have increased substantially, and you mentioned it while you were speaking. Yet government borrowings have also risen. How do we reconcile these trends, and what does this mean for fiscal sustainability?
All right. Again, thank you, Titilayo. And I want to thank the audience for being with us this long. Titilayo, your question is very, very apt. It's an important and it is a fair observation to know that revenue collections have actually increased substantially, yet we still see government borrowing. However, I would like to let us know today that higher revenues and higher borrowings, they may seem contradictory, but the context in which this happens matters a lot. Much of the recent borrowings that the government has been involved in has been very strategic to refinance, and this borrowings has actually been to refinance our existing debt as a nation and as states, and it's also for bridging temporary cash flow gaps. Government is not just borrowing to refinance. They are not borrowing. Government is not borrowing today to expand recurrent expenditure. What government is doing is to actually finance the existing debt and bridge our temporary cash flow gaps, and also invest on capital matters. At the same time, government revenue is becoming more stable. There's stability. You can see the consistency in the growth rates of our collections as a nation. The Federation is growing in its revenues. We must be able to say thank you to the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Act of 2025. This act has enhanced compliance. It has enhanced automation. It has enhanced transparency across our various ministries, departments, and agencies in the public sector. We call them MDs. Fiscal sustainability is therefore not just about reducing borrowing, but it's about ensuring that debt is used productively and that revenues continue to grow structurally. And that's what the country is doing. And like I mentioned earlier, it may take some time for this to impact on us as individuals, but the state as a whole, the Federation as a whole, entities and organizations as a whole are filling this bridge gap, and they're gradually able to enjoy the impacts. So, with all receipts improving and non-oil taxes expanding, the debt to GDP ratio, which is around 38%, remains within manageable limits. Through vigilance, we know that vigilance is actually required in what we are doing. So, but with vigilance, the nation as a whole can avoid unsustainable debt servicing costs. What we see today is that revenue growth is strong, but fiscal sustainability will depend on spending efficiency and economic diversification. So, this is what it is. As revenue is increasing, our debts, our borrowings also seem to be rising, but the thing is that the debt to revenue ratio also keeps decreasing, because that margin is reducing every day. And what we are using our borrowings for now is different from what borrowings used to be used for before. Before, the nation, the subnationals, the nation as a whole, was borrowing to solve recurrent expenditure matters. But today, it is not the story any longer. Borrowing is more strategic, and borrowing is actually for the development of the nation as a whole. So it's important to borrow and stabilize just to do something very strategic, and that's what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much to our panel members. So one final question to all panel members. In 1 minute each, it will be that, what practical steps can businesses and citizens take to strengthen macroeconomic stability and support inclusive growth? So, Madam, before you go, I would just like 1 minute, your thoughts on that, and then we go around the other speakers. Thank you.
So, because I am in the public sector, let me speak as someone with what I do today. So, what would be my advice to all of us, to the public sector as a whole? Accountability is a bridge between macroeconomic reform and economic stability. I'm saying this because we are all accountants here, and we're looking at how our role can enhance stability, economic stability. The public sector where I am can strengthen its financial transparency through these several key measures. We have the TSA policy, which is the Treasury Single Account Policy. A full enforcement of the TSA policy of the nation as a whole will enhance our fiscal discipline as a nation. It will ensure that all government revenues are visible and in real time. Governments are adopting this policy and they are driving it. It has just to be sustained. And any part of the public sector where this is not happening, it needs to happen. There is a wider adoption of IPSAS and accrual-based accounting. Those are one of the initiatives being driven in the public sector. The public sector, most people are on the cash basis of accounting. But there's this drive and to make sure that everyone in the all subnationals and national as a whole adopts the IPSAS and the accrual-based accounting across all tiers of government for accurate and transparent reporting. There has to also be automation and digital audit trails in revenue collection, building on the success of the Federal Inland Revenue Service and the Nigeria Revenue Service reforms. Once all our processes of receiving revenue is well digitalized, this will improve our stability as an economy. There's also the importance of timely publication of budget performance reports and FAC allocations, budget performance in the various nationals and the Federation as a whole the publications should come on time. That way, we'll be able to sustain our economic growth better. We've seen more of this consistently happening in year 2025. And ICAN is doing what it should do with what LEKKI and district society is doing: capacity building, knowledge building, skills, developing our knowledge base is what you're doing now. And everyone in the country should make sure that there's capacity building for public finance officers, private finance officers, internal auditors. This will strengthen compliance and deter misuse of funds. When citizens can trace where public funds come from and how they are spent, confidence will improve, investors' confidence will improve, and that's how fiscal transparency will translate into macroeconomic stability. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. So I'll go to Dr. Shei. Your thoughts on this? What practical steps do you think businesses can take to strengthen macroeconomic stability and support inclusive growth? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will say one is that we should improve on our entrepreneurial culture as Nigerian individuals and business. produce, and source for local raw materials as much as possible so that we can have a good GDP and we can sustain the level of growth we have in our GDP. Then the other side, I would say businesses in this very dynamic time, they should embrace technology. They should embrace technology. They should continue to build powerful business network to sustain themselves and continue to grow as a business. Still on the part of corporate, I will also mention that there should be serious financial discipline. If it's not budgeted, think about it. Is it going to bring revenue? If it's not going to bring revenue and it's not budgeted, just be disciplined. Then for individuals, I will say one, we need to continue to develop ourselves, skills acquisition, either formally or informally, because it's only people that are nimble, people that are learned, that can manage this very, very harsh economy that we are in. Then, of course, I will talk about savings and investments. As individual, you must save and invest for raining day. And again, also, as individual, let's take entrepreneurship and also continue to build powerful network. Let's think local. Let's use our products, and that way we are able to sustain and help government to sustain this economic growth we are seeing. And we are praying that this will be reflective in our day-to-day life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I'll call on Professor Bongo to give us his final thoughts on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And thank you for, to the participants for staying, through this event. Yeah, so there is this neglected aspect that I think is the oil that facilitates and runs every economy. And, we always downplay it, which is the role of trust. What I find in the economy today is that we are under the reign of pandemic of distrust. The citizens don't trust the government. The government doesn't trust the citizens. The government doesn't trust itself. Citizens don't also trust themselves. So we are in a pandemic of distrust all over the place. And then I can cite an example. Recently, I was involved in a kind of a transaction. So there was this promissory note. I think it's a judgment note or something that arose from some years back. And then the owners want to discount it, but nobody wants to touch it because everybody believes that government will never honor its obligation. And this is just one out of several. So there is a reign of distrust in the system. And you agree with me that you as accountants, that the financial system actually works on trust. Without trust, you don't have an economy. The economy runs on trust. Whether it is institutionalized trust or institutional trust, that is trust in institutions, which is that we believe that institutions have the competence and the credibility to honor their words or to do what they said they would do or to live up to their responsibility. The other one is generalized trust, which is the trust among citizens. Now, you notice, I think Mr. Ni was speaking about entrepreneurship. Nigerians are very enterprising. In fact, on per capita basis, Nigerians are the most enterprising of Africans, if not the black race. But what is it that countries like Kenya, Ghana, and other peer countries have against us? Those guys have, higher levels of trust within them than us. Okay, so, and that is what can make or mar the recent recovery we're beginning to see. In the past, we seem to have higher levels of trust. Yeah, but if we have to look at the indicators of trust today, it is they are at an all-time low. And that is something that I think we need to work on. I don't know how we're going to do that, but trust me, without it, even the little progress that we make will quickly be eroded. So that is lacking. Another thing I think both corporate and individuals or citizens need to be concerned with is participation in the political system. Now, because we are accountants and we are professionals, that does not mean that we should not participate in politics. the biggest challenge that we have is that we have the worst of us making decisions for the rest of us. Because those who should and who have the competence and the interest and integrity to run affairs shy away from it. And then we leave the political, which is where everything happens. So we tend to downgrade the political system or political participation, not knowing that that is what really makes or may whether the financial system or the corporate system, because that's where all the decisions are taken. Now we're talking about the tax reforms. Okay, because we now have a competent guy who's one of us, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, leading the charge. We see the great work he's doing there because he's a competent guy. Well, because he was tapped to take on that position, I'm sure that left to himself, he will never venture into government. And then we have Njum that is doing what he's doing or currently. So most of us need to actively seek to participate in the political system. Otherwise, we will not see the change that we're all crying for. That change has to come from us, and it has to happen if we become very interested, okay, in the political life of this country. Otherwise, change will not happen. So trust and political participation, I think that is where the corporate system needs to become more engaging. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. So one final word from Mr. Oni.
All right. Thank you very much. I think that for businesses, number one, I mean, to me, is that they need to probably support the local chains. I mean, source input locally. I mean, to create jobs and probably reduce their foreign exposure. Number two, I also believe that they also need to invest in people. I mean, prioritize what are called fair wages, great welfare. I mean, in terms of their employee. Then number three to me is they need to probably strengthen corporate governance. I mean, things like maintaining transparency, ethical practice, and of course, I mean, pay taxes responsibly. To the government. In terms of for the citizens, I believe that number one to me is practice what we call financial discipline, and save and invest prudently. I mean, also again pay your taxes and comply with the obligations to government. Then again, we also need to demand accountability. I mean, engage constructively and with the policy makers. We don't just need to fold our hands and allow those policies to be made, then we now react. We need to, to engage with them. I mean, even when formulating these policies. Then number three to me will be, in all they do, we also need to find a way of, promoting social cohesion. I mean, participate in anything community driven, support peace, tolerance, and civic responsibility. Those are the ways that I feel that this can be sustained. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you to our panelists, to our guests. Thank you for, staying with us over the last 2 hours. I know that if we spend 4 hours, we'll probably not be able to take all of your questions. But I guess we all have to then go back to see how we can begin to implement some of the things that we've heard today. So I would call on PC Oladejo Adeyemi to take the closing remarks and would close the webinar. Thanks to LEKKI and the Street Society once again for giving me the opportunity to moderate this session. Over to you, PC Oladejo. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our distinguished professional colleague, PC Titilayo, for moderating and indeed facilitating this excellent session. And thank you again to all of our resource persons, our quality speakers,
from Mr. Bidemi Oni to Professor Bongo Adi to Master Attack himself and to Dr. Jun. There is no better way we can express our gratitude for you to have chosen to spend a part of your morning to enlighten us. I must tell you that over 2,000 participants, accountants and non-accountants registered for this. I think as at the last count, we had almost 2,500. And across all of our platforms, we have well over 1,000. The number kept hovering, around over 1,000, both on YouTube and on Zoom link. So you can be rest assured that a decent number of the populace have been enlightened. This is Lekki and District Society. Our goal is to ensure that we continue to impact our world, the world around us, our community, the accounting community, and continue to equip our members to ensure they function properly, at their areas, of endeavor. It would be very wrong of anyone who has followed this district closely to be commenting on the extent of the stability that the nation has experienced over the period and be doing so wrongly. Sometimes you see people set ring light and you hear some of the comments and you just wonder, where are these people? Where have they been? But having gone through this session this morning, we are very much confident that the impact will begin to spread. So on behalf of the chairman of the district, Mr. Patrick Akameko, the entire body of executives of the district, and indeed all members of the district, we thank you most profoundly, our speakers, for choosing to be a part of our morning. And we also thank every participant who has been a part of this up until this very moment. I encourage you to watch out, continue to stay glued to all of our social media platforms in the district as we continue to bring more enlightening sessions like this your way, to be sure that we have a more educated, community of people around us. Once again, thank you everyone and have a pleasant day. Over to you,
Thank you very
PC
much.
Titi. Yeah.
Thank you very much, PC Oladejo. So on the screen, you'd see our office of the Lekki and District Society, our website, and you can send us email and also call. There are numbers of the General Secretary, showing there. So we'll take the third stanza of the National Anthem and ICAN item now, and we bring the webinar to a close. It's a pleasure, having everyone on board, listen to us and discuss this interesting topic. Please let's continue to engage, and we hope to see you very soon. And also maybe you could also join, our district. You're always welcome. It's a district of excellence. We're always open to have new members. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
I see that the ICAN anthem is being played to signal closure of the meeting, but I guess the technical team is having challenge with sound. It appears so, but again, the meeting ICAN anthem is being played. The meeting has been to signal closure of the meeting. I guess has been closed. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. I can see that it's playing, but I can't get the sound. Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening. Have a good day.
Let's go right and found a treasure in triumph upon the race, standing stronger in harmony, building our land together. Dreams of a founding fathers, we are striving to attain our common values that we share through all ages be sustained. Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. We uphold your
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
Thank you, everyone. The meeting has now been brought to a final close. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
Thank you, Chairman, Webinar Committee.
Thank you, District Chair. Thank you, sir. Thank you, moderator. Thank you, participants.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.